This March, the madness isn't limited to basketball.
Who do you think you are? I am.
The Hall of Famer Pete Weber, who captured last season's U.S. Open, returns. Today, the 50-year-old is the top seed at the Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions, and he's in search of the 10th major championship of his career, trying to equal the record of the great Earl Anthony, but he'll have to earn it. On the stepladder, defending TOC champ Sean Rash and the 2013 USBC Masters winner Jason Belmonte. It's the PBA's signature event where only the best are invited to compete. The Tournament of Champions, and it's coming your way next.
That's right!
Not far from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, where Duke and Louisville will square off later on, we've got our own hardware up for grabs. The Tournament of Champions was born in this city, and now over half a century later has returned to its roots, and returned with a roar. From an elite field made up of only PBA winners, emerged 5 of the game's best, all winners of major events, including Jason Belmonte, winner of the last major a month ago. This is 6th TV final of the last 7 majors. Sean Rash, the current player of the year, looking to go back-to-back. And our opening act between 2 more power players, Tommy Jones and Osku Palermaa. And yeah, there's one man who doesn't look like the others, number 1 seed Pete Weber. Hi everybody, I'm Lon McCarron with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. Randy, the power players in this lineup have the opportunity to do some serious damage on this lane condition. But that might play right into the hands of 9-time major winner Pete Weber.
Yeah, and it will for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, Pete Weber's incredible release and soft touch at the bottom of the swing creates a tremendous amount of side rotation. And what this does is it helps Pete's ball clean the front part of the lane. His ball doesn't read the massive amounts of transition created by the high rev players. It also creates a tremendous amount of entry angle for Pete, and so that adds to a really high percentage of strike and carry. The second for Pete Weber, he's got all the major championship experience in his corner. Pete Weber just 1 game away from winning his 10th major title, tying the late, great Earl Anthony for the most major victories all time. And oh, by the way, Lon, did I mention Pete's 50 years old?
And the man in the catbird seat is standing by right now with our Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Lon. So, Pete, you have won so many majors in your illustrious career, but you've only won the TOC 1 time, and that was 26 years ago. Do you think at age 50 you have what it takes to do that again today against these young guns?
Well, Kim, I'm pretty sure that I've proven myself over the years to the young kids that I'm not afraid of them, and I know they're not afraid of me. But to do what I need to do today, I just need to stay focused on what I've been doing all week and not worry about what they do.
Absolutely. Now, how much attention are you going to pay to these guys in these earlier games?
Well, I'll be somewhere in front of a TV watching, seeing where they're playing the lane, seeing how they break down, and then have a conversation with Del before we go on, and we'll decide what I need to do.
Well, I know that you have a lot of people rooting for you today, so good luck this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Randy, this has been a demanding tournament format.
Well, a lot of games involved in any major, and the Tournament of Champions is no different. 48 total games, but anytime you have that format, Lon, in these lane conditions, the cream will always rise to the top.
We are ready to get this finale underway.
The number 4 player owns 14 PBA Tour titles and is a former PBA Player of the Year from Simpsonville, South Carolina, Tommy Jones.
13 years on tour, 14 PBA titles. His latest coming this year in Japan, defeating Sean Rash in that finale. Rash on our stepladder today. Good to see Tommy back in the finals, huh?
It really is, and he told us the other day that he's finally healthy for the first time. And Tommy Jones has always been one of my favorite players out here, and he's a lot of fun to watch. Very entertaining.
Tommy Jones opening up our stepladder finals from Indianapolis. Oh, it kicked the 10, but the 10 was too stubborn.
And right away you see the power being displayed by our competitors on today's telecast. Tommy Jones gets that ball into the Swish zone just a little bit light. A couple of messengers come over, but the 10-pin's still standing. Tommy told me that he probably threw it as hard and hit it as much as he could for the entire week. Very physical and demanding.
Tommy, one of the early power players on tour, maybe not top dog in that respect, but he can still bring it.
The number 5 seed is the 2012 PBA World Champion with 3 PBA Tour titles representing Finland, the Twin Finn, Osku Palermaa.
Palermaa won the World Championship last season for his first major, over $50,000 in earnings already this year. Oh, he crossed over and took them all down.
Nice break to start. You know, the players are nervous the first couple of shots. This is a major championship, even though every player on the telecast is a major champion winner. But the first couple of shots, their insides kind of feel like they want to be on the outside. Using a defiant soul, going with a fairly strong piece of equipment. The reason for that is because of his high speed and rev rate. He needs that ball to get started early and then come off the end of the pattern a little softer. If he goes to a weaker piece of equipment, it'll be too violent down the lane.
Palermaa high again, and a look of worry on his face.
Well, if you thought he threw it fast on his first ball, when he puts his thumb in it, it goes even faster. Watch this.
One-handed spare, no mercy. So Palermaa sits down, bringing Tommy Jones to the approach. I've not seen much of TJ in the last couple of years, as we mentioned. Randy alluded to it. He's been plagued by various injuries, neck and hip most recently, but he says he has overcome that. He's got his legs back underneath him.
Fastest player in PBA history to win $1 million.
And Tommy comes through. TJ's second major win and 10th overall came in the 2007 Tournament of Champions, bowling against Tony Reyes. TJ opened with 6 strikes in a row en route to a 257-222 victory.
He did this on a 50-foot oil pattern in Uncasville, Connecticut at the Mohegan Sun. Tommy Jones was putting on a strike fest.
Previous season, he captured the 63rd U.S. Open. Tommy now looking for his 3rd major and one of the few to win a 2nd TOC. He struggled early, always looking to improve with every game, changing balls even if he's rolled a good game. He says the picture got clearer with every game.
Yes, sir!
Tommy Jones bringing the fire.
Picture's pretty clear right now early on for Tommy Jones. He really put on a show the last 8 games of match play to make the telecast Friday night. Tommy Jones picking up where he left off.
Well, the other 3, or actually the other 4 bowlers on our stepladder were in the top 4 from the 3rd qualifying round on. Jones forcing his way up, 22nd, 16th, 12th, 7th, and then 4th. Now Osku back on, and Osku rattles the 10, but he doesn't seem to have found his mark yet, Randy. Osku very strong throughout qualifying into match play, and then faltered a bit late, finished as the 5th seed. And in qualifying, he actually, on Thursday, in his very first frame, left the 7-10. And then, here's what Osku does with it. That got him some early momentum, Randy.
He actually made the 7-10 twice in this tournament. But most impressively, the last game in position round, Osku Palermaa stepped up against Bill O'Neill. He needed the first strike in the 10th frame to make the show, and he threw it dead solid perfect. Here's a ball change.
Working on a spinner, looking for some help, leaves the rail.
And he knew he was in trouble when he went Brooklyn, then he went through the nose. He gave that ball a little bit more room to the right, and he almost left the 2-8-10 on the right lane. Now he makes a ball change, tries to go straighter, but right there is the out of bounds. He needs to move in off of that shot, maybe with the same ball.
1, 2, 4, 7. Can he get them all? He can! He got the kick. And there's Osku at his best.
And I'll tell you, he's lucky he's only trailing by 15 right now. Not one ball has been close to hitting the pocket. This is very fortunate to convert the 1, 2, 4, 7. He almost left it 2, 8, 10 on the right lane. Now, Tommy Jones can increase his lead to 25.
Jones working on a double in his 4th. Last TV appearance was here in this center, 7th place in the Dick Weber playoffs. Big swing of this power man. He doesn't like it.
Ah, Tommy. So bad.
Great profile look of Tommy Jones, and what a great athlete Tommy is. Played baseball, really good golfer. You can see just how low he gets to the foul line, but did not like that shot as he creeps in high, but only leaving the 4-pin.
TJ is 2nd all-time in TV winning percentage to Jim Pensack. Pensack with over 73%. Jones over 70%. He converts. Here's what Tommy's working with.
Tommy using a little less aggressive equipment, but keeping the ball a little bit more on line. His last win coming in Japan, Nagoya, Japan International Bowling Championships, where he won $75,000. And that was back-to-back wins for Tommy in Japan. He actually beat Sean Rash.
Up by 14. Can Tommy Jones start to put the hammer down on Osku Palermaa? Yes, he can!
His former player of the year is showing he still has some left in the tank. Nice touch on that shot. After the shot before it went through the nose, Tommy gives that one a little bit more room and shreds the rack.
Now that brings up the man with many doubts in his head, I'd imagine right now, Randy.
He has no picture right now as to what his ball is going to do when it leaves his hand. He knows his opponent's lined up. Scary place to be.
Palermo with a lucky strike in the 1st and then 3 spares. There's Palermo's game at its best.
So the first 3 frames, he tried to hook it. Didn't work. He goes to a ball that goes straighter. Let's check to see if he stays behind the foul line here.
Very close. Palermo now working on a strike. That missed as well.
Well, that was a bad shot. He just got it a little bit wide of target. Going with 2 different bowling balls now. Tried to go straighter with the ball that hooks more, and it just kind of got wide of target. Again, very fortunate only to be down by 14 with only 1 out of 6 shots in the pocket.
And a 2-handed spare throw from Palermo, who has to figure out what's wrong quickly as he trails Tommy Jones by 14 on our opening match of the Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions, coming your way live from Indianapolis. The Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions is brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Barbasol, shave like a man.
Yes,
and by the USBC, enhancing the bowling experience for millions of bowlers. To learn more, visit us on bowl.com. Welcome back to Indianapolis in the Barbasol Tournament of Champions. Tommy Jones up early on Osku Palermaa by 14 pins. TJ's fiancée is here, Nikki. They're getting married next Saturday. Congratulations to them. And then it's honeymoon in Jamaica. It can't come quickly enough, but Jones with a lot of work to do first.
I can't believe they're not taking me.
Well, maybe they need a butler.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, Okay.
Tommy Jones sitting pretty so far. His opponent, Osku Palermaa, seems a little bit confused about the surface he's working on. Jones was the one who said he has to pay close attention to Osku and what damage it would do to the pattern, but Tommy Jones is the man with the hammer right now. Can he get the kick? No. Now, Randy, let's take a look at TJ's style.
Well, again, I said it earlier, he's a great athlete, but look how low he gets to that foul line. But let's take a look at this pin carry. The messenger in front of that 10 pin.
Jones sixth. He converts.
All right, let me critique Tommy Jones' style for you right here in profile. Take a look at the start. Kind of gets a little hunched over, creeps to the foul line, but he really uses his legs. You take a look at this knee bend. You better be in shape, and you better be a good athlete to maintain this. He snaps that ball at the bottom of the swing. Look at that. Gets it for all it's worth. A lot of speed and a lot of revolutions from a very powerful Tommy Jones. That was straight out of the Nelson Burton Jr. handbook.
34-year-old Tommy Jones backs off.
What it is, but
Something buzzing around him. And you see Tommy looking to be part of this group. Multiple Tournament of Champion winners. Jason Couch made it 3 in a row. The event was not held in 2001. Of course, all the big names are there. TJ. Also one of 3 players to have won Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year. That is elite company with Mike Albee and Chris Barnes.
Some really good names on that list. Jim Godman, Mike Durbin.
Jones knows the business that he's got to take care of, and in the 7th, he does all he can. And now Palermaa. And as you mentioned, lucky to still be in this thing, Randy.
I was going to say, do you mind if I beat the dead horse some more? I mean, Tommy's got to be saying to himself, I can't believe I'm only up by 14.
Palermaa still has not found his spot.
Yeah, he gets a little left at target, it goes high, a little right at target, it hangs. His look doesn't look very good at all. So now this time he tries to tighten up the line, and there's no way with that rev rate that ball's ever going to hold line. There's not enough oil in the middle of the lane.
Another spare for Palermaa.
I mean, if he threw it like Ulan, that probably would have laid there and flushed the 1-3.
And if he threw it like me, he would not be in search of his second major. But Osku just needs an opening of the smallest sort from TJ. Whether or not TJ will give that to him and whether or not Osku can up his game, certainly still to be seen. Oh, that's just bad luck there.
And how many times have we seen it where the player grinds and grinds and grinds and finally makes a good shot and hits the pocket, only to leave a 10-pin for the right-hander. 6-pin goes around the 10 at about supersonic speed.
You want to talk supersonic speed? Watch this spare throw.
Nice segue into that, Lon.
Wow. That hurt just to listen to.
I'm tired of setting you up.
Wait a minute. My contract says that's what you're supposed to do. All right. Jones up by 16 now. And this week in match play, you see Tommy, a big win by 40 over Osku.
Remember, the 53-man field cut to the top 24 for 24 games of round-robin match play. You bowled every player once, and then the last game was a position round.
Working on a strike.
Whoa. Are you kidding me?
He caught a break.
Caught a break.
Well, he threw a great ball, but
I mean, he almost left a pocket 410.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
What a nudge he got there.
I can't remember the last time I've seen that on television. Tommy Jones has missed the pocket one time this game. It was in the fourth frame where he went a little bit high, and he's only leading by 16.
His ninth frame, but Osku running out of room as he waits for Tommy to bowl the ninth. Saw a lot of high scores during the week of qualifying, but everyone knows when they get to the TV finals, it's a brand new tournament. New lanes, new conditions, all the nerves that you have come into play under these lights in front of all these eyeballs.
Come on.
Just a little firm. You still like the driver's seat that he's in because Osku Palermaa has not made anyone here today believe he can hit the pocket 2 times in a row.
Osku thinking, if I'm going to do it this game, it's got to be next time. Jones trying to clean up the knot. And I think he feels he got away with something there.
Well, if anybody's due a break, it would be Tommy Jones in this match. Osku crossed over in the first. He tripped out the 2-8-10 in the third. He's gotten a lot of breaks. He's only hit the pocket just twice and still only trails by 14.
Tommy had a big opportunity to make the climb a lot steeper for Osku. Osku take advantage of it. Yes, he can.
And here he comes. I mean, how many times have we seen this where you let your opponent hang around long enough to get lined up, throw a couple of good shots? If Osku Palermaa strikes out in the 10th frame, he'll force Tommy Jones to throw a double in 7.
Osku, with only 3 strikes in the game, all on the right lane, will finish on the left.
Not one strike has he thrown on this lane.
He needs it now. And, oh! He feels let down.
Back-to-back ringing 10s on the left lane is probably going to be the end of Osku Palermaa. Just another massive ringing 10 from the powerhouse.
Sean Rash awaiting the winner of this match.
Tommy Jones needs a mark in the 10th frame and good count.
Tommy Jones trying to stay focused on what he's done well so far in this game.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. He doesn't need a mark. He just needs good count.
And Osku knows the situation. As a professional, though, his job to rack him up. And that is game 1 in a single frame for Osku Palermaa. He just did not find his groove.
Tommy Jones needs 6 on this ball, stay behind the foul line, and he's going to move on to take Sean Rash.
189 for Palermaa, and we were talking to Tommy yesterday, and we're asking, what about the scores? He said they could be low. 190 could be a winner, and 190 would be a winner here.
Let me try that again. He needs 7.
7 pins to advance. Tommy Jones gets them all, and he will meet Sean Rash in match number 2. Sean Rash in the wings, our defending champion, current player of the year, will be up next with a rare opportunity to go back-to-back. Stay with us at the Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions. Back at Woodland Bowl, you see two of our PBA League owners, Terrell Owens of the Dallas Strikers on the left, Billie Jean King of the New York City WTT Kingpins, and they'll be bowling, their teams will be actually, for the Elias Cup, and that is next Sunday. The Elias Cup Finals, the championship matches in the inaugural PBA League season next Sunday at 1 on ESPN, also live on Watch ESPN. Pete Weber, the top seed here today, his team, the Kingpins, the top seed in that stepladder final next week. It was at the Tournament of Champions 20 years ago that George Brandon III became the first African-American to win a PBA major. He bowled the final match against Parker Bone III and came away with a big-time victory, Randy.
Well, I grew up bowling juniors with George back when we were teenagers. We roomed on tour together. I actually went out and worked on George's game about 3 or 4 weeks prior to this tournament. Parker leads the Stone 6, and my good buddy and good friend George Brandon III captures his first major.
He won 5 PBA titles and nearly $750,000. And there is George in the house from Indianapolis. Next to him, another great PBA player, Mike Albee. And you want to talk PBA greats? We are thrilled to be joined by Nelson Burton Jr. Bo, I tell you, it's been a long time I've been watching you, and I'm thrilled to have you back in the PBA booth.
Thank you, Lon. It's great to be back here, and it's a great tournament, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Randy, you ever thought you worked next to real greatness? I'm just...
Well, you know, Bo and I are both Floridians, and we've done a lot of exhibitions together. I've done a lot of work with Bo, and so it's like we're brothers. I mean, it's always great to see Bo. He's like a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely.
Thanks you, Randy.
And we've got him here for a terrific stepladder final. Tommy Jones just coming up with a 217-189 victory over Palerma, and now Jones with the right to face our defending champion, number 3 seed, Sean Rash. And this should be a lot of fun, a lot of power in the early part of the stepladder. And Randy, any surprises so far? We had some thoughts about this pattern being torn up early on. Is it coming to fruition?
Not yet. It's slowly going in that direction. This match is going to tell a lot based on where Sean Rash is going to play. The players are just going to continue to migrate in, and we'll see how long the oil pattern holds up.
Bo, your observations so far after that first match, and let's focus in on TJ, Tommy Jones.
Well, these two players, Lon, I feel are the two best wrist players in professional sports bowling today, and that's what I teach. That's what the old players teach. It's the wrist that adds the power. Watch Tommy Jones as he releases that ball. It's as pure as can be, Randy.
Yeah, it really is. He really snaps that wrist open at the bottom of the swing. Again, it doesn't hurt that he's a pretty good athlete as well and keeps himself in great shape.
Great high school baseball shortstop and pitcher opening up match number 2 in a big way.
They made a ball change there, Bo. It looks like he moved in a little bit, starting to create a little more angle.
You're right, Randy. And also you can recognize when a player has won the first match, it's amazing how they relax and they wait for the ball and they throw a good shot.
The number 3 seed is a 6-time PBA Tour champion, defending Tournament of Champions winner and reigning PBA Player of the Year from Montgomery, Illinois, Sean Rash.
We talked about what a good TV player Tommy Jones is for Sean Rash. 22-16 overall in TV title matches. He's 5-4. He's already made 4 other TV finals this season. 1 second, 3/3.
He also won in Kuwait, where he beat Mika Koivuniemi. Sean has done a lot of really good bowling the last 3 or 4 years, and he finally got off the schneid last year when he won the TSC. I know that was a big boost for him mentally, and it also helped him capture his first Player of the Year honors, though.
And important spare right in the first frame, even though he's a little bit nervous. And something to watch for with Sean Rash. As I watch the show at home and I can see it, Randy, when Sean Rash has a long follow-through and posts it, he is almost unbeatable. Let's watch what he does during this match.
Rash, one of the more fidgety players on tour right now, can be easily distracted.
Watch the follow-through.
Using a C-System Versamax.
Working on a spare. Rash finds success on that left side. Something Palerma could not do.
And real consistent throughout this entire tournament. Sean was never out of the top 5 throughout the entire week.
Sean's wife, Sarah, due to give birth to the couple's first child August 27th, the day after their wedding anniversary. Jones working on a strike in the first, and momentum from that victory in match number 1 against Palerma. And that is trouble for Tommy Jones.
This ball looks like it's left the whole way. It never gets far enough to the right. Tommy knew it as soon as he let go of it. Tommy's going to try to get his ball to the right side of the 3-pin. The ball will take out the 3-6-10. He's going to throw the 3 over into the 4-7.
Bo, you can't just throw 2 balls down there, can you?
Actually, a good player like him, he has a good chance of making this.
There. He was going to need a big kick. And Tommy Jones with an open frame.
And the one thing you don't want to do against Sean Rash is give him hope. You know, you want to keep the pressure on him constantly. An open frame loosens Sean Rash's swing up, loosens him up mentally, and then he gets even tougher.
Randy, I agree with you, but one thing I don't agree with, and maybe it's old school, is Tommy Jones bowled a good first game. He didn't carry. He was nervous. His follow-through was a little short, but he was hitting the hole. Now he's changing balls. He doesn't know what's happening. I think if he had stayed with that first ball, relaxed, he'd have run over Rash, but he's opened the door.
Down by 14, Tommy Jones. Come back to that open frame. Can he get the kick?
And it's an interesting comment you made, Bud. Now all he's done is move deeper with a ball that's a little more aggressive and created more angle, but his carry's still bad.
And he's got to wonder where it's going. He's hit light and he's hit high. Let's face it, he's only in the 3rd frame. Sean Rash is over on the bench just salivating.
So, Bo, weigh the factors, the pluses and minuses. Tommy won the first match, but maybe he could have done more. What's playing more in his mind at that point?
Here's what I think is most important, Lon, in a pro bowler. You have to read the pocket. These guys are power players. Sean is a power player too, but he's now relaxed. Tommy Jones knew where the pocket was, and now he's guessing with this ball. He's given Rash, in my opinion, a huge break.
Rash working on a strike. And with his double last season, Sean broke a long winless streak in TV finals while earning his 2nd major, winning the Tournament of Champions 239-205, the victory over his buddy Ryan Simonelli.
Victory long overdue. It also got him his first Player of the Year honors. Sean bowled absolutely brilliantly that day.
Sean had made 14 TV finals without a win before taking down the TOC. And now today here in Indianapolis looking to go back-to-back. 6th career PBA title, as Bo alluded to, came not too long ago at 2-8. 3 in a row for Rash.
Boy, he put the great touch on that. You see how he got it a little right at target, but he had so much hand in it, the ball faced up and entered the 1-3 perfectly.
Randy, you're absolutely right. You see how he waits for it and then rolls his wrist. So many players try to roll their hand over the top of the ball to get a hook, where that's not the proper way. You see the great players like Jones, like Rash, they're lifting through it with tremendous wrist action. That's what makes the pins behave.
A confident-looking Sean Rash now takes a rest. It's Tommy Jones with the heat on him, down 34 in the 4th. Jones doing what he has to do, keep the pressure on himself. I think he bowls better under pressure.
At this stage in the game, even though we're only through 4 frames, if I'm Tommy Jones, I'm saying to myself, okay, well, Sean's obviously lined up. I have to now throw strikes, and it's got to be all strikes. I've got to get back in this. Striking is the best way to do it. I've got to somehow find a way to string 3, 4, 5 in a row, put the pressure back on Rash, and hope that Rash doesn't strike out or continue to strike.
Absolutely correct, Randy. This is a key shot in the match, even though it's very early.
Jones is up to the task. I think he recognized exactly what you guys said.
Not yet!
Not yet, Sean Rash. And is it me, or do you think that Sean Rash's hearing is not as good when he's bowling well? He just doesn't know anything that's going around.
Good point there.
And as I say that, he stops because I'm a little loud.
Well, something to watch for Sean Rash, and Randy has pointed out time after time. When he's nervous, he doesn't post his shots, doesn't stay balanced at the foul line, and he cuts his follow-through a little short. Now, sometimes he gets away with it, but sooner or later, he pays the price. Let's see if he can maintain his form on a pressure shot here.
There you go. There you go. There you go. He said it.
At least it wasn't me that distracted him, Lon, okay? It was you.
I'll take that hit.
It's nice to see a player who gets distracted be able to compose himself. You know, we never want to cause a player into a bad or distract a player into a bad shot. Sean stepped up, threw a nice shot. He said, "Gotta go," which meant he wanted that ball to hurry up and get to that 1-3 pocket. If that lane was another foot longer, that ball would have been through the nose.
Rash working on a four-bagger.
Go!
5 in a row. That is one driven defending champion. Sean Rash up by 44 against Tommy Jones. It is so difficult to back up a major championship, but Rash is ready for it. No visit to Indianapolis is complete without a stop at the Brickyard and the Hall of Fame Museum at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can go way back and see the whole history of the Indy 500 and auto racing when you come to Indianapolis. But right now it is Sean Rash who was raced out to a 44-pin advantage. Rash through 6. Tommy Jones defeated Osku Palermaa 217-189 in the opening match. But Sean Rash in the driver's seat, as I beat that analogy to within an inch of its life.
Well taken.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, exactly. Jones in the 6th working on a double.
Needs this one. This is a big shot for Jones to stay in the match.
A man who knows what his mission is.
I mean, I think we're at the point where Tommy has to strike out. I mean, even with that 3 in a row, he's still down 34 pins. Sean Rash has no signs of letting up. His former player of the year.
Tommy Jones' arm swing saved him there, Randy. As we could see it from our announce booth here, he lost the ball at the bottom of the swing, but was perfectly on target, so it ended up in the pocket. But I agree with you. He has to think strike every frame one at a time.
Former player of the year taking on the reigning player of the year.
7th frame, Tommy Jones working on a 3-bagger. Give the man 4 in a row. And that look on his face tells me, Bo, that he knows what he's doing right now.
He's an assassin, Lon. I've watched Tommy Jones. He's a quiet guy. I've gone to parties with him. But I tell you what, you give him an opening and he's going to slash your throat. And he's right on Rash right now. They know each other. Rash knows this match is far from over.
Hey, can I just point something out, guys? The oil pattern looks like it's developed into such a manner that I don't think either player is going to miss the pocket the rest of the game.
Good prediction. Let's see what happens, Big Guy.
Sean Rash now trying to stay focused, stay strong. He's been known to crumble late.
And as soon as I say that, Sean goes through the nose. So I'm just going to let you and Lon do the rest of the show, Bo, and I'll be sitting over here if you need me.
Randy, I've always had the announcer's jinx. I could make him miss 10 pins. You can make him miss a strike. That's just part of the business. The spare is no guarantee. 3-6-10. Keep the pressure on Jones.
It almost looked like on that first ball that he stood up on it and cut it short, and the ball never pushed right, left to target.
Well, Of course, Sean has had trouble getting too excited on the approach. He's finding ways to deal with it, though.
You know, breathing's always been one of the best things in sports, you know, trying to calm the anxiety and, you know, the nerves. But that's just part of sports and part of excitement and part of being in the moment and the spotlight. And it's something I look forward to. You know, how can you not have jitters and have the stomach turning and enjoying what's going on? So, you know, if it happens, it happens.
Bo, he got through that shot much better and pushed to the right and faced up and behaved properly.
Well, it's a good lesson to be learned for everybody at home, especially aspiring young bowlers, both men or women, is watch how these guys have the straight arm swing. That's fine, but how they keep their hand under their ball and use their wrists to put the revolutions on them instead of topping it. That gives you accuracy and power and the ability to duplicate a shot. Right now, the match is up for grabs.
I've always said that the pros work the inside part of the bowling ball, amateurs work the outside.
Very good.
Working on 4 in a row. Tommy Jones trying to fight his way back. Tommy Jones knows things might be slipping out of his grasp now, just when Rash gave him an opportunity.
Well, it's looked like he's lost the ball at the bottom of the swing a little bit. Anytime you make a ball change, he changed from the first game to the second game, seems to have success with this, but he's not getting out of the ball as clean on his first shot.
It has to be amazingly demoralizing, Bo, for TJ to have an opening, have Rash not strike at a time when you need the strike the most and come up a little short.
Well, the match is not over, as
Nope.
Randy said. You got Rash going at a 237 pace. TJ can go off the sheet for 233. Anybody can still win this match.
267 for Rash. Just you said 237. Just want to correct.
Going at a 237
pace. I'm sorry. Yes.
Pace is more than.
I should just let you talk, and
above
everything you say is gospel.
It's above potential.
Hey, Lon, this isn't Bo's first rodeo.
I know.
I say that because I care. You know I love you.
Boy, he got quite the mixing action there.
So getting back to the 237 pace, the best Tommy Jones can shoot right now is 233. So, you know, pretty easy math. Sean Rash, spare strike out. He's going to lock up this match, and he will move on to face his arch rival, Jason Belmonte.
Belmo coming off his first major victory at the USBC Masters. Sarah Rash looking on. 10-pin.
Randy, you picked it up. He is not getting down underneath the ball like he usually does. He's up tall, and the ball does not drive through as much as it normally does. See him stand up on the shot.
Yep.
The 6 doesn't take out the 10.
But I think this is intentional, though. He went through the nose, looked at the 3-6-10. Tommy went through the nose, looked at the lane like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's broken down that much. And Sean went with loft. He's trying to now delay hook. And when this guy does that, he stands up at the foul line just like all the other players when they start lofting the left gutter cap.
So Rash went 5 in a row, then spare strike, spare.
Rash needs to fill 17 pins in the 10th frame to shut out Tommy Jones.
And he's on his good lane. He hasn't missed on this lane yet.
10th frame, Sean Rash. And he is still perfect on that left side.
And I'm going to go out on a limb once again and make another bold prediction and say that I've got a pretty good feeling that Sean Rash can get at least 7 in 2 balls.
You wouldn't go out on a further limb and say that I could get 7 in 2 balls, though, right?
The only one I recall is Don Janello in 1990 in Los Angeles, needed 7 pins and got 5 and lost the tournament.
It's happened. How about 10? And Sean Rash dispatches of Tommy Jones in match number 2. And he will move on to meet Jason Belmonte, and that will be fun to watch in just a few minutes.
If the players are this deep right now, Pete Weber told us the only thing he can't do is loft the left gutter.
So experimenting with a new ball here, and it works. So Tommy Jones wins match number 2, but taken out by Sean Rash, the 3rd seed. It'll be seeds 2 and 3 going at it here in Indianapolis at the Barbasol Tournament of Champions. You won't want to miss Rash and Belmonte. The Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions is brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Barbasol, shave like a man. And by the USBC, enhancing the bowling experience for millions of bowlers. To learn more, visit us on bowl.com. Last night, the official PBA Hall of Fame induction ceremonies were held for PBA stars Doug Kent and Danny Wiseman, hosted by Bo Burton. Kent and Wiseman, both 45 years old, both among PBA's 50 greatest players. It was quite an entertaining evening last night as both players gave very touching speeches. And right now, Kimberly Presser's with our brand new Hall of Famers.
Well, I am with the 2 Hall of Famers that were inducted last night, Danny Wiseman and Doug Kent. Congratulations. So, Danny, when you first started off, did you ever think in your wildest dreams that you would be a Hall of Famer?
No, we don't go there, when you're working hard and you just don't expect it. You just do your, routine daily in and out, work hard, practice. And, it just takes a lot of, it's been a long journey, let's just say that. And, here we are now, very honored, very proud to be included with the legends of our sport. And it means so much to me.
Congratulations to you. Now, Doug, what did last night, being inducted to the Hall of Fame, mean to you?
Well, Kimberly, it meant everything. 20 years of hard work and sacrifice to get repaid, and the ultimate repayment, was tremendous. It was the greatest night of my life.
Well, congratulations to you both.
Thank you, Kimberly. Congratulations to our Hall of Famers. Opening night baseball on ESPN tonight, also known as the March to dethrone the San Francisco Giants, featuring a new division rivalry and the Astros' debut in the American League West. Ranger slugger Adrian Beltre leads Texas against Jose Altuve, and the Astros opening night baseball on ESPN, presented by Burger King. Rangers versus Astros tonight at 8 on ESPN, and also live on Watch ESPN.
And from a couple of heavy hitters to another, joining us once again, Nelson Burton Jr., Hall of Famer. Now, Bo, you were fortunate enough to call the action on the PBA Tour for ABC television for 23 years. Back in 1987, you called Weber's first TSC win. He's back some 26 years later to try to win another TSC. What do you attribute to Pete's longevity?
Well, Randy, I've known Pete since the embryonic stage. I've watched him as a young player. I've watched him mature on the tour. I've watched him bowl in this bowling center. He's bowled 6 professional bowling tournaments in this center. He has 5 wins in a second. But today is the most important day for Pete Weber in his total career. If he wins today, Randy, I have to put his name in that hat with just a few other guys as being the greatest player of all time if he can win today.
Greatest of all time.
Just a couple other names in that hat, but I have to throw his name in if he wins.
Well, I'm not going to argue with Nelson Burton Jr. Now, Bo, I know that you're still actively involved in the sport of bowling. Tell us what you're doing in your hometown of Stuart, Florida.
Randy, I still bowl a lot. I bowl in a league with my 2 sons, Tripper and Brett. I bowl in a Wednesday league, which I'll invite you to bowl with. We have some ex-pros in there. We have Paul Kaler, who finished second in the U.S. Open. Jim Long, a great senior player. Dennis Seropoulos, a great player. But my real love is our junior program. A fellow named Tom Burrell put together one of the greatest junior programs in the country, and we mirror it after the PBA Tour. We put the PBA shot out for the week, like the Tournament Champion shot. That will be the shot this week. We have a sudden death roll-off every Saturday, just like your stepladder. And with that, we ended up with a lot of scholarships for college. The boys team won the high school championship. The girls won from Martin County, won the girls championship. And Randy, I have a young girl named Shelly Goodwin back there who's 16 years old, that in a couple of years she's going to make some college coach look like a genius.
Bo, thank you so much for your time. It's always an honor to work side by side with one of the legends of our sport. Thanks very much for everything.
Thanks, Randy. You do a great job, pal.
A must-see match coming up next. Jason Belmonte continuing his quest for back-to-back majors. He faces Sean Rash. And don't forget, waiting in the wings, Pete Weber looking to take down major number 10. At the Tournament of Champions in 1995, Big Bob Spalding had a great chance to take the title against Mike Albee, but 2 open frames from Spalding opened the door for Albee. And Albee needed a double and 4 pins to win it, and he indeed got the double and 8 pins to earn his 23rd title.
Mike Albee, a great shot maker, took advantage of the pocket 7-10 splits by Bob Spalding. It was nice seeing Albee playing way in and kind of feeding it left.
Mike Albee in the house, one of the best in the game, Grand Slam winner.
One of the classiest in the game ever.
Great to see him and many of the past champions here. So everything going to form so far. Osku Palermaa, number 5, loses to number 4, Tommy Jones, who in turn loses to number 3, Sean Rash. And now the matchup everyone was waiting to see, Belmo and Rash. Rash will be the one starting out, the winner of this match, to take on 50-year-old Pete Weber for this major championship. And, you know, we talk about the rivalry between these guys, and you can feel a little something extra in the air here, Randy.
I'm going to wait to comment until after Sean throws the shot.
Opening from the left lane. Oh, boy.
There is no love loss between Sean Rash and Jason Belmonte. Started a couple of years ago. I know some people tried to put out that fire, but they're not fond of one another. And you know what? That's okay to have that in sports. Rivalries are always good.
It gets them both fired up. It gets the crowd fired up. Opening spare nonetheless.
The number 2 player is the 2013 USBC Masters champion with 6 career PBA Tour titles from Orange, New South Wales, Australia, Belmo, Jason Belmonte.
5th year on tour, so it seems like he's out here under the TV lights every week. Jason Belmonte.
Well, he's making his 6 out of the last 7th major telecast.
Jason opens up with a big strike, and he told us yesterday, yes, indeed, the rivalry between himself and Rash is still very much alive.
I can promise you that I have attempted to the extreme to build a relationship there. Unfortunately, it's not a two-way street. You know, he has his own reasons why. It's unfortunate, but I'm going to look at him like I look at every other opponent that I have, and they're invisible to me. You know, I can't allow the personal relationship to affect my game because ultimately I don't.
Belmo looking comfortable opening with a double. And these two fought tooth and nail for Player of the Year last year. Sean Rash edging out Belmo. See Rash from that first match in one frame here.
We talked the top of the show about this oil pattern holding up, and with basically 2 more games to go, the players are already sliding in the left gutter cap and lofting it. And the reason why they loft it is because if they set it down early, it would go in the left gutter.
So Rash with a tick of the jaw, 2 spares to 2 strikes for Belmo.
Let's take a look at the oil pattern here. The players started right around between the 2nd and 3rd arrow, but as the lanes broke down, the players got way in. And now all of a sudden what we're seeing is the players lofting the left gutter, feeding it out to that track area and back. 39 feet, light volume. And with the loft comes a lot of noise. That bowling ball hitting that synthetic lane. Sean Rash liked that last shot. That ball faced up perfectly on the left lane. But the only way to control the down lane reaction when you have rev rates as high as these players have is by getting the ball in the air. Check this out. Watch Belmo. This one will have some airtime.
Palma opens up with a three-bagger, and he came out on the approach with a smirk on his face, Randy. Not exactly sure what that was about, but he's looking quite comfortable with a major championship already under his belt.
Well, I think what it's about is the fact that he will take great pride in beating Sean Rash if it goes down that way. But there you see the big loft controlling that ball. He is sending it and bringing it back. That last shot went out for a burger and fries and came back with steak and baked potato.
And you see the dance he had to do around the ball return on that right lane. He can start left here on the left lane. Boy, he is in the groove early. Belmo with a four-bagger to open up this semifinal.
That smirk is a smirk of confidence, and I am going to give my opponent the biggest beatdown ever.
Rash working on a strike. Oh, God. He says, look out. That went to the half board, Randy.
Errant shot, trying to get some loft and some airtime to delay that hook, and it's wide right. And there's no chance of that ball hooking back. So he gets out into that OB area right of the second arrow, and no chance of it hooking back.
1-2-4.
The lanes are officially on fire right now.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. And just what we were expecting. And now, what is the adjustment process?
And for those of you at home just tuning in, not understanding what it means for the lanes to be on fire, that means they're getting really dry.
See, it was Belmo losing to Rash in match play. Means nothing now. That looked a bit high coming in.
It was. When it comes to lofting the gutter for right-handers, and Sean Rash is good at it, but I just don't see how anybody in professional bowling can keep up with the two-handers when it comes to lofting the gutter. For two reasons. One, the rev rate is so extremely high, and two, they throw it with such great velocity, they have no problem getting the ball down the lane. But when their ball turns the corner and hits the pocket, it's hitting with such violent force. Their pin carry is amazing.
But anything going faster has a smaller margin for error as well. Doesn't it? I mean, with a car, you think you over I mean, no? I mean, you've got to put it in the right spot. Do you have a smaller target? 5 in a row for Belmo.
He's got a bigger target.
All right.
Because of the oil pattern, because of the amount of friction that's out there, his speed and rev rate actually creates more room down the lane for him.
Belmo up by 42. Here's what he's playing with.
Throwing a pretty weak ball, the wrecker.
Look at the smirk, still there. And why not?
He's so confident right now that the television experience coming off of his last major victory, looking to go back-to-back major victories in his career for the first time.
That one didn't work. So Belmo with the front 5, now looking to clean up on the left lane.
Well, this shot here, excuse me, Lon, this one here looks like he stood up just a little early on and got it left to target. Did you see that spare ball? It was like a little mini-me inside the ball. Pretty cool.
In this battle of two of the best in the game, it is so far being won by Jason Belmonte, looking for the right to bowl for another major championship against Pete Weber.
set it up and what we will look for as we go forward from here.
Tell me.
Okay. Welcome back to the Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions from Woodland Bowl in Indianapolis, Indiana. Sean Rash down by 40 to Jason Belmonte right now. And a grudge match that has gone wrong for Rash. He was working the approach during the break.
Well, Sean Rash is checking a part of the approach that never gets used unless you're going to loft the left gutter, Kevin. He wants to make sure he's not going to stick. Pretty smart move.
Belmo was over there too, checking it out as well after Rash did. But the onus on Sean Rash right now, about to bowl his 6th, working on a spare. He's only struck once on the left side. Struck once in the whole game, I should clarify. That coming on the left side. See where he starts and brings it back.
Well, that's a really good shot. He's increased velocity, moved in, and he's trying to give himself a chance to hit the pocket. But therein where lies the lower rev rate of Sean Rash versus a Belmonte, a two-hander. He doesn't get the pin carry.
Another spare for Rash.
There you go. You see him walking left and around the ball return and playing just right a 6th arrow.
I got a re-rack.
He said to himself after that first ball, good shot, good shot. Down by 41, asking for a re-rack. So, Randy, let's look at PBA.com and what you can do when you go there, right? Check out the new game for your mobile device. PBA Bowling Challenge. This updated game for select mobile and tablet devices allows you to bowl against the best PBA bowlers in dozens of events all over the country. New features include 30 different bowling ball options, quick play and career mode options, along with special bonus challenges. Click on the mobile game link at PBA.com to get started. Sean Rash has to get started now. Change of balls, Randy. Well, Rash comes up with a big ball.
Yeah, he went to a ball change, and it worked on the left way. Now, see if he can start stringing some
Not
strikes.
over yet.
Sends Belmo a little message saying it's not over yet. His max score 237 if Sean strikes out. Belmonte right now at 238. Long way to go still in this match. The shot here is only going to see about half the lane.
Wow. How did that 10-pin stay up in there? Having to adjust that ball return every time because they slide by and give it a left hip check as they go by.
Well, the step pattern that Jason Belmonte uses to walk around that ball return is pretty impressive.
What a great example of the skill, strategy, and reading ability these pro bowlers need. As these lanes break down, it's like changing a putting surface mid-putt. Just to be able to adjust, pull every tool out of their bag. And so far, Belmo's done a better job of that here in this match.
One of the ways to open up the lanes is by having that third step in a 5-step approach actually go to the left. Watch Jason Belmonte here.
There it is, third step.
1, 2, 4, 6,
So, as you heard Sean Rash and Chuck Gardner talking, it's not over. It's not over. And this one is not over.
Well, Belmo gets it wide. He's going to get the ball over here in the head pin and throw it over into the 6-10.
A key cleanup for Belmo. Oh. So close.
Well, that's the other way of making it, and that was a pretty bad break there. That's almost like a pocket ringing 10.
Watch Rash on the right of your screen.
Says, all right, I've got life.
It's my time. My time.
Big shot coming up, though, on the right lane. Let's see if Sean Rash can start stringing some strikes. He has not thrown a double yet in this match.
Down by 24. He's not thrown a strike on the right side. Wasn't me.
Keep in mind, no, that was just a feel thing for him. Keep in mind, though, no matter what Sean Rash does, he can't shut out Jason Belmonte.
Jason Belmonte under a bit of adversity right now as he sits and ponders that last frame where he opened up in the 8th.
I didn't touch it.
And adjusting the ball return there.
Yeah, the sweep just came down by accident. Something triggered the reset button. Sean didn't ask for a re-rack.
He said he didn't touch it. Key ball for Rash. Can he get himself back in the match? You heard him. You heard the answer right when he released the ball.
So Sean can't take advantage of the open frame by Belmonte in the 8th. Has not doubled, has struggled on the right lane. Pretty good strategy. Pretty good strategy by Jason Belmonte. He dictated who started this game. He made Sean Rash start the match
down in the back.
on the left lane, which
And the
makes
balls
Sean
are stuck
finish on the right lane. Nothing but troubles on the right lane.
A frustrated Sean Rash down by 24 as he gets set to bowl his 9th.
Right lane is the tough lane. Sean has yet to throw a strike on that lane. So we have some issue with the back part of the lane. A little plexiglass is down as we take a look at our other finishers.
And Bill O'Neill just missed the step ladder, just a few pins behind Osku. Osku then got a bonus for winning the final match, but it was just a handful of pins that O'Neill missed. And you see number 20, Doug Kent, just inducted to the Hall of Fame last night, still bowling strong. Rash now trying to get something going. And that could be the swan song for Rash.
Yeah, it's over. For all intents and purposes. He went to the weaker ball. He gets it a little bit right, throws a pretty good shot, and the ball was just too weak down the lane. These are the 2-4-8. Belmonte, even with the open frame, in complete control. He's going to move on to face Pete Weber. The question in my mind, is there enough room on the lane for Pete Weber to get his ball to the pocket? Pete can't loft the gutter. He told us last night he can't loft the gutter.
He'd be in trouble if he had to, he said, yeah.
And if he can't get deep enough and find some oil left to get his ball to squirt to the right and get back to the pocket, he's going to have to try something to the extreme right side of the lane and go really, really straight.
Palma, just a formality now as he makes that dance left. And that does do it as Belmo looking forward to going back-to-back majors on the PBA Tour. And a sweeter victory he could not have asked for here in the semifinals against Sean Rash. I'll be curious to see if that smile is on Belmo's face as he bowls the finals.
I mean, it's almost unfair with that speed and that power from that angle. The carry percentage gets extremely high for a two-handed player. The rev rate so high, the ball speed, the pins have no chance, and it just doesn't matter. Jason could throw it halfway down the lane. His ball's still going to hit like a Mack truck.
Jason Belmonte just making sure his line is correct for the upcoming championship match. Getting a little practice time, as it were, before he faces Pete Weber. Two bowlers who have tremendous respect for each other. There's also a little salt between the two as Belmo misses his final ball. And we asked Pete, who do you want to bowl in the finals? And he said, I want to bowl and beat Belmo because he let me down at the World Series of Bowling a couple of years ago in the doubles.
Well, again, for me, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Pete has any room left on this pair. The good news for Pete Weber, he gets to decide who starts and finishes the match. He can make Belmo finish on the right lane, and the right lane looks to be the drier of the two.
229, 171. It is Jason Belmonte getting ready to meet that man, 50-year-old Pete Weber. Can he make some history by joining the great Earl Anthony with 10 major championships? Jason Belmonte, looking for his second major in a row, has something to say about that. Back in Indianapolis in the Barbasol Tournament of Champions. What a step ladder it has been here at Woodland Bowl, and our championship match upcoming between top-seeded Pete Weber and number 2 seed Jason Belmonte. The NCAA Women's Championship continues today on ESPN2 with a Sweet 16 doubleheader at 4:30. Oklahoma taking on Tennessee. Then at 6:30, Louisville squares off against defending champion Baylor. The NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship presented by Capital One today on ESPN. Also, you can watch it live on Watch ESPN. Time for the Geico Championship recap. Randy.
Lon, Tommy Jones back to the big show. It's been a while for him. He takes down Osku Palermaa 217-189. Then in match number 2, Tommy Jones takes on the reigning player of the year, Sean Rash. Sean Rash starts spare, and then 5-bagger. He takes down TJ 247-233. And then the stage is set. The biggest rivalry out here on the tour, Jason Belmonte, Sean Rash, and it's all Belmonte. Jason starts with the front 5, never looks back. 229-171 winner, setting up a great championship match between those two right there.
Lots of respect between Belmo and PDW shown right there. No hug before the last match between Rash and Belmo.
Great point. Great point, Lon. I was wondering if you caught that.
So seed 1 against seed number 2, PDW's wife Tracy in the house. Everyone here anxious to find out, will Weber make it 10 major titles? It'll be Belmo starting on the left side. The big strike to open it up.
The tournament leader owns 36 career PBA Tour titles with 9 majors from St. Ann, Missouri. PBA Hall of Famer Pete Weber.
They love him here. His dad, Dick, was born in Indianapolis, and also Randy, Barbasol Shaving Cream, our presenting sponsor, actually invented in Indianapolis also in 1919.
I was actually wondering if the reason why Belmonte has all that facial fescue, if he's trying to get a deal with Barbasol.
First ball in the championship match, number 1 seed, and Pete Weber getting it done.
And you notice the number 1 seed made Jason Belmonte start on the left lane, which makes Belmonte finish the match on the right lane, the hooking lane. Pete Weber had the choice. He said, you know what, I'm going to let Belmonte start.
Top seeds this season of 11 stepladder events have gone 3 and 7. Belmo, Michael Haugen Jr., and Brad Angelo, the 3 winners from the top seed. Weber the top seed here this week. Weber with the same throw he had on the first frame. Identical hits.
And I'm being told that he's using 2 different bowling balls, even though they both look the same, they're drilled differently. See, he still has room, Lon. He can still get his ball to push, and that's what we talked about at the top of the show, that axis rotation, that side roll. He gets his ball to do things that no other players out on this tour can get their balls to do.
Belmo has his 2 hands full. He's up to the task. Oh, Belmo is primed for this championship finale.
Don't go anywhere, folks. This is going to be a slugfest, and it's going to come down to the 10th frame.
The championship cup. Tantalizingly close physically for both of these players, but only one will hold it aloft shortly.
Pete Weber's last TSC victory 26 years ago. Jason Belmonte looking to become a back-to-back major champion.
Working on a double. 4-10.
And the first opening, something you don't want to do against a guy by the name of Pete Weber.
Needs a kick. Open frame in the third for Belmo. Such a huge build-up to this championship.
Just
and
a little
open frame can deflate you quickly. Sorry, Randy.
Excuse me, a little too much speed in the ball. Didn't have enough time to turn the corner. Now, Weber working on a double. Can step up and increase the lead early on to 24.
How is he still doing it after all these years?
He's a freak of nature. No, I mean that seriously.
Right. Working on a double.
And that's the suspect lane. That's the trouble lane. Lots more friction on the right. Petey liked it. He put a great touch on it, only to come in and leave that stubborn 4-pin. But this is the timeless, flawless form of Pete Weber. And there you see the axis rotation or the side roll. Look out. Skinny jeans. And he's so cool, he wasn't even worried. Look at him.
Hey, I knew it the whole way. Don't worry. I got this one. Saw Weber with a different ball on the spare throw with that Kingpin logo from the PBA League.
Using an IQ Tour Pearl on both lanes, 1 pin down, 1 pin up, I'm being told. One to create a little bit more length, the other one to get it to start a little sooner.
Strike open for Belmo. And strike spare so far for Weber. Putting a little extra time through this ball, and it paid off.
He's a bad man, Lon. He puts the ick in sick. He's tenacious, he's nasty, he's afraid of no one. And I think the most physically gifted player to ever throw a bowling ball. It's just efficiency of motion when you watch Pete Weber throw a bowling ball.
He's won 2 national titles in this center, 3 regional titles here. Belmo, a little different composure on that face now. Oh, he got the back kick.
Nice break here. You see him sliding in front of the left gutter cap. That's actually the foul light. Nice break here, tripping the 4-pin for Jason Belmonte.
When you're using the foul light to stop your progress, pretty good chance you're not going to foul. Jim Doty has been a great host, general manager of Royal Penn Leisure Centers. All the bowlers say this is one of the top spots for hospitality to come on tour, and it's all due to Doty and his staff, and we thank them for all that they have done throughout this very busy week.
We always look forward to coming back to Woodland because of people like that.
Belmo down to 13.
Well, hard to believe that Jason Belmonte's ball can ever leave a weak 10, but it just did right there. The 6-pin second to the right is going to go to the sidewall and just kind of lay there and not do its job, taking out the 10-pin.
It's like it hit a sponge there on the left side. Belmo cleans it up. He looks so relaxed out there.
Take a look at what Pete Weber does with the bowling ball. I want you to focus on that glove. Open hand, here it comes all the way to the bottom, and then there's the rotation. Watch again as he lets go of the bowling ball. I want you to watch and focus on that open hand.
Back live, Weber's 5th. Working on a strike. Oh, so beautiful to watch.
Hey, when he rips the sunglasses off, you need to take cover.
Is this man fired up for his 10th major or what? And what we have not mentioned is that he could also tie Norm Duke with 37 titles in his career, third best.
Third all-time with Norm Duke, tie Earl Anthony's major record with 10 majors. 26 years since his last Tournament of Champions victory. 23-pin lead, 6th frame. There's the open hand.
Big crossover there.
Very good. You heard him say it, a bad shot. Now watch this. Watch the hand at release. There's the open hand, but this ball never pushes far enough right. Left of target the whole way, and a nice break just leaving the 10-pin. He gives a little James Brown shuffle with the feet there at the end. That was good. And, you know, I think another word you have to use when talking about Pete Weber is agility. He's a pretty agile guy for 50 years old.
Now Belmo, who seems to be enjoying himself immensely here today.
He's just trying to enjoy the moment.
Big win over Rash and business to do against Weber. 10-pin again.
It's the only thing that slows these guys down to throw with two hands is when they get bad carry. It doesn't happen very often. In my opinion, they have the highest carry percentages. Watch him take that side step to the left. There's the loft. That ball hit about the 33rd or 34th board on the fly.
Jason doing what he can, but coming up just short so far. Down 23 to top seed Pete Weber. And now Jason Belmonte has to string some strikes together to put heat on Weber. Again, 4-10, we've seen it before. And Weber now knows his spot a little more secure.
Weber went high on that lane. Belmonte goes high on that lane. Bad break for Belmo, leaving the 4-10 split. Belmo in big trouble.
Can't be satisfied with one.
Oh, and he got it! Oh, he missed it on the first go-round, but got the kick. 4-10 split conversion for Jason Belmonte.
That keeps his hopes alive. What a great time to convert a pretty tough split. Look at him slide the 4 into the 10. It catches just enough of the 10-pin. Spectacular. Now Weber back up right lane. And what a great sport Pete Weber is. He always has been.
On his feet, applauding that conversion. Weber up 25, working on a spare, as you see.
Oh, that's a champion's champion right there.
This next shot on the left lane is going to tell you everything you need to know about who's going to win this title.
In 1987, when Pete Weber won his first major, the Tournament of Champions, the Twins won the World Series, Giants a Super Bowl. See Wimbledon champions. A lot going on. 95 cents for a gallon of gas. That was in our lifetime?
I think the most interesting stat that's not there is that 1 year after that, you actually interviewed me for the first time.
That's right. You got your first PBA win in Union City, called by Al Michaels. Union City, California.
Oh, come on, baby!
There you go.
Just when Belmo thought he had a little momentum, up steps Pete Weber with a double.
It's just amazing how Pete can get his ball to scoot through the front part of the lane. He doesn't need to loft it. You see there's not a whole lot of room left. But that side rotation gets that bowling ball to scoot through the front, get to the break point and come off it nice and soft. He's got the greatest touch in the game.
Make it 3.
It's okay. I
Back
got this one.
to back 4.
It's all right. I've seen
10
it 3
splits.
times. We're good.
He's got this one, he said. Oh, and that cup that much closer to Pete Weber. He says we're good. Same lane. He missed this one.
Pretty good try, though. I've never seen anybody make back-to-back 4-10 splits on television.
And that all but secures it.
Weber's going to a spare ball. I think he's going to try to throw the 9th and 10th frame. He's just going to throw it straight down the middle of the lane.
Weber putting some extra tape in one of the finger holes on that spare ball as Belmo pulls his 9th. It's either 4-10 or a ringing 10 for Palma, right?
Pete Weber is going to win his second Tournament of Champions at the ripe old age of 50, and he's going to throw a spare ball down the middle of the lane at some point. I feel it coming. May not be the 9th frame, but I guarantee it's going to be the 10th frame.
And Jason Belmonte now a spectator, and soon to join Earl Anthony.
Hey, you can change that number.
Weber with
look out.
Spare ball.
Whoa. He's going to take 9 spare and go quietly.
Absolutely.
Pete's in the 220s already. Best Belmonte can shoot is 189. It's over.
What a performance by Pete Weber. And Earl Anthony makes some room. Pete Weber has joined the greatest ever atop the list of PBA major victories with 10. PDW continues to amaze. There's the spare ball. Wife Tracy loving it. Pete Weber making history in Indianapolis.
How about the last 2 titles for Pete Weber? U.S. Open Tournament of Champions.
This man came to win the title. This man won the title. He was on all week long, and the Indianapolis bowling fans show their respect for who Nelson Burton Jr. says might be one of the greatest ever to bowl.
Yes! Yes!
Great job, buddy. Great job.
Thanks, man.
Mission accomplished.
Thanks, sir.
I'm still waiting for him to go over and give his wife Tracy a hug and a kiss. All right, finally.
After he goes through PBA League team owner Billie Jean King, there is wife Tracy. Pete Weber on his own personal red carpet right now. Belmo closes with a strike with his first ball in the 10th. And look at the weight off his shoulder right now, Randy. That is his championship hardware.
Just an amazing player, and Pete always does it with style. He's a class act. We saw that when he stood up and applauded the split conversion by Belmonte. His brother was in the headset. You see him right there with the headset on. That's brother John.
Belmo closed with a spare to make it official. A wave of the crowd from Belmo, and now the moment Pete Weber has been waiting for all week. You are the Tournament of Champions winner once again.
Let's go. Get it out here. One more to go. Yeah, baby. Tournament of Champions. I just love it. I just love it. Wow. Unbelievable.
He still has the face of a junior bowler who's just won his first title. What enthusiasm from 50-year-old Pete Weber, making history today in Indianapolis. We'll be back to talk with the newest TOC champion from Indianapolis. The Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions is brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Barbasol, shave like a man. And by the USBC, enhancing the bowling experience for millions of bowlers. To learn more, visit us on bowl.com. Welcome back to the Barbasol PBA Tournament of Champions. 3 sets of doubles for Pete Weber, enough to overcome number 2 seed Jason Belmonte. Weber, a 224-179 champion. And right now our runner-up is with Kimberly Pressler.
Well, Jason, you beat out the defending champion Sean Rash to make it into the finals, but you had some trouble there. You got 3 4-10 splits. What went wrong?
A couple of things went wrong, but ultimately when you play your idol, it doesn't matter the result. I was really happy today. I really was. I had one thought for the whole day, and that was thinking of my wife Kimberly and my 2 kids Aria and Hugo, who are up early in the morning watching this right now. So.
Well, you said that he's your idol. How much has he affected your game?
I hook the ball because he does. So he is basically, if not the most talented bowler to have ever walked the earth, he certainly is the greatest guy. That's for sure. I love him.
Well, talking about the greatest guy ever, here he is with Randy Peterson, the winner of the 2013 Tournament of Champions.
Thanks, Kimberly. Pete Weber, who would have thought that your last 2 victories on this tour would have been last year's U.S. Open and this year's Tournament of Champions? I think the big question is, at age 50, how are you able to compete at this level?
Randy, the way I feel right now, I'm going to compete just like Dad. I'm going to bowl until I pass, and it's just a great feeling to be back in the winner's circle. And I couldn't have won these 2 tournaments without Storm bowling balls, the greatest bowling balls in the world. They're the best.
What does it mean to have your wife here? I know one of your daughters is here. You've got family. This is where it all started. Just the tradition, all of the events that you've won over the years at Woodland Bowl. What does it all mean to you?
This might be the best one at Woodland Bowl right now. Winning the Tournament of Champions for the 2nd time, completing the Triple Crown for the 2nd time, having my daughter Ashley, my stepson Troy, my wife Tracy here, and my mother and father-in-law were here all week too. So this week has just been really, really special for me.
Pete, thank you so much. Congratulations.
And next week you can watch Pete and his top-seeded WTT Kingpins go for the PBA League title. That all comes your way next week on ESPN. 5 PBA major championship winners created a stepladder for the ages with rev rates that would make drivers at nearby Indianapolis Motor Speedway jealous. It all went to form. Pete Weber captured major number 10, tying it with Earl Anthony. 30 for 30 is next on ESPN. For Kimberly Pressler, Randy Peterson, and Bo Burton, and our entire crew, thanks for watching History with us today.